aggressively running down every lead, including those of his known associates. That's why we need the public's help. We are asking if anybody has any interactions with Samsud Dimjabar in the last 72 hours that you contact us. The FBI is asking the public's help. We're asking anyone who has information, video, or pictures to provide it to the FBI. We have set up a digital tip line as well as our 1-800 number, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Please provide us with any information that can assist us in this investigation. Once again, thank you for your patience and assistance. For an updated statements or information, please check the FBI's website and our social media accounts. I will now turn over to Mayor.
Back to the interesting point. You said that you guys think that they've sent at least 15. Al Qaeda alone has sent at least 1,500 people here in the United States.
Correct.
What do they plan on doing with them?
They have a 2025 multi-coordinated, multi-city plot to avenge the death of Osama bin Laden.
Okay, so I've watched you on podcasts. I've never heard that. Could you explain that more?
We're going to put a report on Monday, but essentially Al-Qaeda is actually who helped plan the Hamas attacks. The Hamas attacks is a dress rehearsal. So the Hamas attacks is the practice attack, and then the big attack is going to be in the United States and then in 4 countries in Europe.
Okay. You guys want to go home and load magazines?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
I hope a lot of people come into your shop and stock up. It would be smart.
Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. Happy 2025. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Sean Montgomery.
Oh, I'm Alton Johnson.
And we have a guest this evening, Sean. Sean, thank you for coming and welcome to the new party. Sean is a Hebrew Israelite, and he's so gracious to come on and discuss his religion and who he is as a people, and we're excited to have him on this first night of the year, but unfortunately we have some business we have to attend to. As you guys saw in the clips, we have had allegedly 2 terrorist attacks, and I'll explain what number 2 is. Many people may not know about it, but number 1 happened in New Orleans, Louisiana, and it is very unfortunate for the loss of life that we had. Also, everyone, thank you so much for being in the chat. Thank you so much for coming. We are officially taking super chats, so we appreciate for everyone being guests and supporting us. We also are going to talk about our subscribers, but we'll get into that at the end. More importantly, we need to talk about what happened today. Gray, are you familiar with what happened in New Orleans? I know you did some reading on it today.
Yes, it was a guy that drove into a crowd, and then once he drove to the crowd, he began firing on people. I don't know how many people were wounded. To lighten the mood a little bit, the Notre Dame game and the Georgia game were canceled or postponed due to this, and now they have to play tomorrow.
Yes, it is very, very sad what happened. They're not really putting out much information. And in fact, it's kind of scary what they're saying. I'm going to play the clip that goes into detail of what happened. But first, I want to acknowledge Kelly Corinne. Thank you for watching. She says, Happy New Year's, family. It's just unfortunate we have to start the New Year's like this, guys. So let me play the first real clip tonight. The other clips that you saw briefly went over it, but this goes into a little bit more details regarding what happened. This actually is a witness for the attack.
Coming up all onto the sidewalk and all that, but by that time we had already made it inside the divot, or is what I thought. Until once we get inside the divot and the car passes, I turn around to look who's all in here, because it was supposed to be 3 of us. I turn around to look who's all in here, and I don't see my friend. And I just start screaming and yelling, and I'm like, nah, where are you? And I turn and I look in the street, and her right leg is flipped like horror movie style over her back, and it's just blood.
So pretty much what he's saying, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but a individual with a F-150 truck drove into a crowd of people. It was around 3:15 a.m. to be exact. Everyone was getting out, from the club after New Year's, and Bourbon Street at that. It's a very popular area if you're familiar with it. And as soon as he plowed through people, he then came out of the truck, guns blazing, had a shootout with the police. He is now dead. This is amazing because
He had the ISIS
they
flag
didn't
in
want to
his
initially.
truck.
Right. They didn't want to initially release this, but what they're saying is on the back of the truck was an ISIS flag. Alton, I see your face. What's your thoughts on what happened? Did you hear about it?
Yeah. First of all, grace and peace. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I want to make sure my audio is okay. Yeah, I've kind of been watching this throughout the day, trying to get the details, because I know that sometimes the media, it depends on who the shooter is or who the assailant is. It kind of takes them a little while to kind of, release the information about the person who commits these type of crimes. But this is my first time hearing that it was a person who had an ISIS flag. Now, is this person like Middle Eastern, or are they?
I knew you'd ask that. I have a clip of who it is, and you would not guess what they are. And I'm gonna just say that I'm gonna let you see what he is, and you put two and two together what he could be.
Okay, yeah, because I know that. Now, I remember when we were dealing with ISIS back in between like 2014 and maybe like 2018 or so. They started recruiting a lot of different people from different backgrounds. So I don't know. I even seen some Asian people who were who were over there in the Middle East fighting with ISIS. So I don't know. I might not be that surprised.
Well, he's an American, first of all, and he actually is a veteran. He served in our United States Armed Forces. So, Volker, what's your thoughts? Did you catch up with what happened today before I play who he is?
I haven't. I just heard about it. Terrible what happened, but I did hear it's supposed to be in retaliation for like Bin Laden or something.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
That's what they're saying. And they're saying he's not alone. They're searching for another 4 people, 2 men, 2 women. I think that's the scarier part. They're saying it was a group of them. I'm going to play who he is, and then we can all give comments on him. This is allegedly who it was.
Good evening. I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, property manager with Blue Meadow Properties and team lead at the Midas Group at Core Realty. I just want to say hello and let you know a little bit about me. So I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch. So I've taken those skills and applied them to my career.
Sean, what's your thoughts? Have you heard about this? Do you believe it's this person, or do you think
just came across a little bit of it this morning,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't really pay too much attention to it. But see, it's things like this that they don't shock me, because that Bible is a playbook of what's going on. And if we read it, it tells us to expect this. It tells us to expect worse. So when these things happen, I don't necessarily spend a lot of time trying to decipher who, what, where, when, and why, because the scriptures already told me who is in control of all of this. And the fact that it's going to get worse, that's why it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. If you put your efforts into knowing him, because he is the only escape from what's coming. He's the only escape. And those who do not find him are going to get caught up in what's coming. But those who do are going to be protected by him. There are scriptures that says 1,000 will fall to the right of you, 1,000 to the left, but none of this is going to come nigh you. That's what he's talking about. This stuff that's happening right now, that's going to get worse, if you spend your efforts into the kingdom that's coming, because this is just the beginning of the kingdom that's falling. His kingdom is coming. When you say that prayer, that's what you're praying for. Thy kingdom come. So in order for his kingdom to come, because the Messiah said, all of this has to come to pass before I come. So
Look at his name. He's Muslim, though, right? He's a black Muslim.
I believe so. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but I would assume it was. This early morning when I woke up, there's a picture of him on X. I don't want to show it because it's allegedly his body, and it does look like this fella. So that's the only reason why I played the clip, because I feel a little bit confident from the picture I saw today. But I honestly was shocked when I saw who it was. I'm gonna be transparent with you, because when I heard it, I ain't expect him to look like that. I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry, it's a stereotype. I did not expect him to look like that. I'll be honest with you. So it's just unfortunate. Alton, I see you smiling. What did you think about after you saw who he was? And I mean, he seems really put together. It's just unfortunate.
No, I don't. I'm not too shocked, especially with him having, an Islamic name. And like I said, between 2014 and 2016, between 2014 and 2018, I saw all types of people that were joining ISIS. I actually saw a video, and it's since been removed from YouTube. It was one of their recruitment videos, and they had all types of people in that video. People darker than me. They had white guys in there with long beards. And so it's not really too shocking, but I would like to. I'm kind of interested to see what was his motives or what led him to that. And I'm pretty sure as time goes on, they're probably going to start revealing tweets and Facebook posts and all of that stuff. And but yeah, it's just, but because you guys are saying that the reports are coming out stating that he wanted to take revenge because of what happened to Osama bin Laden. But conspiracy theory time. All right, you can look this up.
Yes.
Time to put the tinfoil hats on.
Yeah, Alton.
All right. Now I've been following this. Since like 2012 or so. Okay, so there was a lady. Her name was Benazir Bhutto. You can look it up. Benazir Bhutto. She was going to be the next prime minister or president of Afghanistan. Because remember, after 9/11, America went into Pakistan and all of those countries, and it kind of got destabilized. So Benazir Bhutto was a lady who had grown up in that area, and she knew a lot of these people. Right, a lot of the rebels and all of that, and she had a lot of political power. So, but she was assassinated before she can actually become the president. Now, I remember she went on, I can't remember the publication it was. She said that she knew the guy who murdered Osama bin Laden. And this was like 4 years before the United States claimed that they had taken out Osama bin Laden, because there was already reports saying that Osama bin Laden had been dead for like 2 years. Because as some of the people who were a part of ISIS, what became ISIS, they were trying to, have this big conglomerate of like Al-Qaeda and some of these other groups. And apparently Osama bin Laden was kind of in the way. So they kind of had to, they kind of had to get him out of the way in order to kind of, build ISIS. But this lady, I'm telling you, she went on, she was on a publication, and she said that, she knew the guy, the rebel guy. She called him out by name and said that he had murdered Osama bin Laden. So, tinfoil hat time, all I got to say, if you want, look it up, pull it up, and you'll see it for yourself.
And breaking news.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it's exactly what you said. I just got a notification. Biden said that the guy was posting videos saying that he was inspired by ISIS. So exactly what you said, Biden just came out and just said that.
Oh, we got to believe it because Biden said it, guys. Don't forget.
He
Just
awake?
kidding. Just kidding.
So he awake right now?
All right. Well, thank you for that, Alton. Tinfoil hat 2025. That's the year for that, right? So the next thing that happened today that was pretty outrageous, and you guys can have your own thoughts on it. I'm gonna play the news report on the Tesla that blew up today in front of the Trump Tower in Las Vegas.
Right now, 3 senior U.S. law enforcement officials say that this explosion of a Tesla Cybertruck, kind of in the portico there where you saw that smoke rising from in front of Trump's property in Las Vegas, is being investigated, at least initially, as a potential act of terrorism, and that it was, quote, intentional. And there was a person who was found deceased. That is the driver of that vehicle. There were 7 others that were injured as a result. And so they don't yet have a specific motive, but some things they've found in the investigation leads them to believe that this could have been some sort of a terrorist attack, or at least that they should investigate it as such. Interestingly, Chris, I know everybody's going to immediately say, okay, we have something that happens in New Orleans. We have something that happens in Las Vegas. The car that was used in Las Vegas, the Cybertruck, right now, 3 senior U.S. law enforcement officials say that this explosion of a Tesla Cybertruck, kind of in the portico there where you saw that smoke rising from in front of Trump's property in Las Vegas, is being investigated in the
Sorry, it restarted. But Elon Musk tweeted, guys, because he's another person we definitely have to trust. He tweeted that the Tesla truck blew up because there were explosives inside. So it's not because the Tesla is not something we should trust it, But so I don't know what to believe, y'all. Tesla's involved. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. He's saying that it was due to explosives, and the driver has been confirmed to be dead. So it appears that this might have been a suicide bomber. I don't know. Gray, what's your thoughts?
I'm not sure. I saw the same thing with the Tesla bombing, and then we know someone's already tried to delete Trump before, and it was a person right after that. So I'm not really shocked that this is happening around Trump. But for it to happen at the exact same time, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. I mean, it just reminds me of 9/11 when they attacked the Twin Towers and then they were going after the Pentagon at the same time. So if you look at it evidence-wise, you might say that it's the same thing.
Bulger, are we under attack? What's your thoughts?
I wouldn't be surprised if we are. That'll be a big coincidence. Trump Tower, and then how Trump's been villainized for the past decade. I kind of seen a lot of, to me, it just makes sense. I've seen a lot of this coming for 2025 as we get close to January 20th. So I wouldn't be surprised. But it is a Cybertruck and it's ugly. So,
So you think it should get blown?
Blow them all up.
But yeah.
They don't call him vulgar for no reason. What about you, Alton?
So many crazy things happening around the world. So I've heard that the Cybertrucks are trash. They've been having a lot of problems, a lot of mechanical issues. That's number one. Number two, I've never heard of an electric car actually exploding. Now, it will burst into flames, but as far as it exploding, I don't know about that. Somebody could be trying to send a message. That's all I'm saying. There's already been an attempt on, Donald Trump's life. That really shocked me. That surprised me. But with this, I'm kind of leaning towards it. This could be a message being sent. Again, if we putting our tinfoil hats on, all right. So if it's tinfoil hat 2025, I'm gonna go with the tinfoil hat. Somebody could be sending a message.
No, you got a point there. Because lithium normally, when they catch fire, it's a fire that kind of smolders, but you can't put it out. Like you have to just let Teslas burn when they catch fire for it. So for it to explode, yeah, it's a high probability that it was explosive.
Sean, what about you? Was it Cybertrucks in the Book of Revelations?
No, they don't necessarily mention cyber trucks.
Chariots of fire, brother. Chariots of fire.
But they do mention chaos, and that's exactly where this world is headed, into just a bunch of chaos.
I think it's been there.
It's going to get worse. See, that's why it likens this time to birth pains. How does birth pains work? You start timing contractions, and they're far apart, and they're not as strong. But the closer the time it is to birth that thing, those contractions, they get closer and closer and more intense in strength. And if you notice throughout the history, that's exactly what's happening. There's always been wars and rumors of wars, but if you look at what's going on today, we're talking about World War III now.
As you're explaining, I'm going to play in the background the bombing. Keep going, because I know you have a lot to say on it, and I'll have it muted.
So all of these things, again, with me, I just sit and watch them culminate instead of trying to decipher every event that's happening, because there's a lot of events that's happening all around the world, and I wear myself out trying to keep up with all of them. But it's all foretold that this is how things are going to play out. So again, my focus is really just trying to bring truth to people, because they're not equipped, because we've been raised in a lie. Everything about this system is a lie. What does scripture say? Satan is the god of this world. He's in charge of all of this world systems, the entertainment system, the governmental systems. He's all ahead of that. He is who they talk to get their instructions. And that's just the truth of the matter. And if you really want to dig into it, there's all kinds of historical documents, because they keep meticulous documents. And all you got to do is just peel open the surface, and the truth is sitting right there. And once you get a hold of that one thread, just keep tugging on it, and all of the lies will just come crumbling off, and you'll find yourself having a whole bunch of "I knew it" moments.
Facts. Everyone in the live, if you guys can hit the like button, we really appreciate you. We have a gem tonight. Sean clearly knows the Bible. And I said this, Vulgar, we are in a spiritual battle. Remember what I told you guys on that show that night? He just explained it probably more clearly than I said it.
He hit the nail on the head right there. What people really don't realize, it's spiritual first. The natural is just what's happening in the spirit, where you can see it.